So a few days ago, the World Cup was down there, and we're going to try and get on it because they prepare the slope really well. Now, why are they letting him ski on there? It's fucking stupid, man. I'm actually quite happy, which is quite rare. I never finish a training session happy. I'm always a bit like, oh, I wish I did this, but... So I've had quite a few questions about the setup of my skis. Good morning, everybody. Long time no see. I have been all over the world. I've been to Bosnia, I've been to Switzerland, I've been to Italy. Today I'm gonna go prep some skis because I've just got back. Then we're gonna train on the World Cup. Well, we're gonna try and train on the World Cup piece because the Women's World Cup was in Courchevel 2 days ago. So we're gonna try and train on that one with a nice surface because I need the nice surface because we're going to Spain soon to do some Europa Cups. My first Europa Cup. Very, very serious. So we're gonna go do them in a few days. So we've got a few days training now. I missed you guys. Where have you been? Long time no see. I'm gonna do skis and then I'm gonna talk about setup because lots of questions about setup. Talking about setup, then we're gonna go skiing. Bye. So I've had quite a few questions about the setup of my skis and what I've got. So these, I've got to ask what model. I don't actually know what model they are. They're from the factory. I don't get much choice, so I just ask for the stiffest ones that they do, which is a 52. They do 52s, 54s, 56, 58 in slaloms. And so 52 is the stiffest, 58 is the softest. But in terms of actual models and stuff, don't know, but they do the job. So the stiffest I can get, because I'm quite heavy, I'm about 90 to 95 kilos, so that's quite heavy for slalom skiers, so I get the stiff ones. I've also been told by my friends who also race that I'm on quite an aggressive setup, which means that the ski wants to turn a lot more than most people. Apparently the fishes are quite aggressive as they are. And then I've got the lifters, the toes raised on the lifters. If you remember a few videos back we were testing. And I liked the higher toe. So we've got a slightly higher toe than a higher heel, which makes it more aggressive still. These bindings, I've also been asked about the marker bindings that some people are starting to use. I've never tried them, but apparently they're better for people like them for GS, and not many people like them for slalom because they make them less aggressive. So I'm on a more aggressive binding. What else is there? I'm on an 86/8 edge angle, which is, again, more aggressive. So there's they come 90, which is a right angle obviously, and then you can choose, 86 is nearer the minimum. I think maybe something around 85, but I've never met anyone in 85. 87 for races is pretty standard, and 88 is for like beginners or beginner racers or just normal people. So I'm on 86, which is again a bit uncommon. The best file guides are the ones with the thing that screws onto it because it keeps it way more solid than if you have a clamp. You want these ones. Little tip for you lot, and then yeah, it's just at 86, and then I keep a lot of the burr on. There's a lot of guys diamond file to make it really smooth, but I like, especially under the foot, I hate not having grip. It's like the worst thing ever. I've brought my boot down for you, got a plate here, which again makes it more aggressive. I didn't really think about this all in one piece, but it's just what I prefer. So yeah, that's my setup. Yeah, people play with all sorts of things. That's quite uncommon again, but people have plates on their back to make it a little bit more stiff. People choose the boots, they can do all sorts with that. They can also choose the canting on this. So the cuff goes at an angle, so then when you're standing straight, your knees are... So there's all sorts you can play with. I don't play with it that much, I just find something that I enjoy and then go with that, which is obviously quite aggressive, which I didn't know. I forgot to tell you how we test. So we test, or I test, I don't really know how everyone does it. I know the World Cup guys have people doing it all for them. But I test I get normally two extremes, and then you test both and you go, oh, I prefer A or B, so I prefer B. And then you go a little bit closer with A, and then you do, oh, I prefer thingy, and then you get to the one that you like most. So say you'd have one that's your heels higher and one that your toes higher on the plates, and then you do some skiing on both, and you go, oh, I prefer this one, and the times, obviously you look at the times as well. You go, oh, okay, I prefer the higher toe, and then I tried one with flat and one with a higher toe, and you go, oh, I still prefer the one with the higher toe, so we stayed with the higher toe. Obviously, it's not an exact science because in different conditions it's always changing, so again, I just try and get something that works well in most conditions and then leave it because I've not got the facilities to have in this condition like this and this, like that. So, basic stuff, nothing too complicated. So we're in the afternoon today training because of the other guys are racing in we're in Courchevel, which is called the Three Valleys, the whole big ski resort, and they're in the valley over racing. So Dave has been with them, he's now driving up, I think he's behind us actually because I'm going to go warm up. And then I'm going to do some training because I need some training, not trained in a long time, done a lot of races. I got very sick, last time I saw you, I got very, very sick. And then I went on that massive race block like I said earlier. So I didn't do any training before that race block because then the other guys were racing at races that weren't good for me. So I had to just go and race. So it wasn't ideal, but we made it work. We got some little scores here and there, but no big score that we want. So we're going to go train and we're going to go to the World Cup piste. Hopefully we get on. Fingers crossed. There's people, I'm going places. I've got actual straps, but the problem was they're too strong, and then see this plastic bit, it snapped in the last race in Bosnia, so almost worked too well, whereas I've been replacing them out with the metal ones every time they snap.
How does that thing work?
This thing, put it through here, through there, and then back. I could sew them on, but it does the job, and they'll probably break again. So a few days ago, the World Cup was down there, and we're going to try and get on it because they prepare the slope really well for the World Cup normally. So we want to try and get on that part of the slope for the good prep. Whether we will or not, I think the French Europa Cup team are on it, so we have to try and sneak on. Dave's going to try and sweet talk the man. But yeah, I also went to watch it, so insert clip of...
I did.
You've already
I don't have any videos. I have one tiny video.
She didn't video it. Well, she went to watch it. How was it?
Good.
Course set, and we're going to go and warm up and get ready to ski. Hello, we're going to do, look at this, a pro now, little microphone. I'm speaking too loud, I'm used to shouting at you. So we're going to do an inspection. Dave set something pretty gnarly, I think, to wake me up from the easy slopes and sets in Bosnia. Time to wake up. Okay, so we've got a wireless mic, so I can talk to you while I'm inspecting. You can see what goes through my head, which is not a lot, to be honest. Anyway, so turny section up here. Hello and welcome to the ASMR with David. Can you hear me? Shall I whisper to you? That's a pretty turny section into hairpin. Oh, should have checked what the distance is. I'm going to check the distances because Dave's going to set something sneaky. Got to make sure. Okay, fairly short. So we're just looking for distance from that second hand. Over time, you get a sense of what's short and what's not. And a big old banana. He's set a pretty swingy one here, so it's going to be pretty pulling you apart. I'm looking down the corridor and seeing how wide it is as well as the distance. There's a lot of distance, but it's also swingy, so it's pretty tight. And then a little offset hairpin. So these are normally facing straight down the hill, but they're not. So see how this one's got more distance between my poles, so it's a bit bigger distance, but it's offset, so it's actually a really short, you can almost treat it as a really short gate. So it's that. Snow doesn't feel too bad actually. I think this is where they warmed up for the World Cup, so it's still pretty good surface. It's not quite as good as over there. That's why they haven't Piste over there. Now why are they letting him set a ski on there? It's fucking stupid, man. Why can't I ski on that? I'm about to go to Europa Cup now. He can barely bloody ski. He's actually a nice guy. I've spoken to him before, so I shouldn't be rude. A tight verticale. Yeah, I apologise. That was mean to that man. Oh well. And I'm going to let the skis run. Oh, a little roll as well. Look at that. That's pretty fun. Oh, hairpin. Yeah. I was not being friendly today. That's why I asked for it. It was fairly soft. It was quite soft. Oh well, c'est la vie. Game's a game. Offset. Fucking look at that. That is mean, Dave. That is mean. Short offset hairpin. My 2 tips for my course today is the 2 offset hairpins, specifically the second one, and then it's really swinging at the top. How was that? Did it work? Did you like how was ASMR with David? Did you enjoy? I'm going to give you this back. I'm going to go out and train now. Bye bye.
Alright, decent. I think it looked to me like you were trying to do the turns well, which you did, but it didn't look to me like you were trying to really get from gate to gate clearly back.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I definitely could do more trying to get across. Couple runs down. First run was pretty safe, and that run was better. It's the first time training in actually a month today, so it's good to get back. I like training more than racing, I think. Shock horror. But yeah, it's good to be back training. Only got a couple of days, but enjoying it. That's 3 runs in, and yeah, feeling alright actually. I thought I'd feel a bit more ropey after so long of not training. Obviously we want to not train for that long, but it's just how it goes sometimes, especially in a mixed team like this where the other guys probably normally go to different races to me. So yeah, it's just like the way they already planned their races, and I got sick on the training block before my races got cancelled, so then I had nothing to do but race really. Feeling alright. I finished all but the first one, and some big recoveries in the last one I'm pretty sure you saw, but it's good to train the recoveries as well, it's part of racing. I'm working on my hips at the transition of the turn. So you do one turn and then my position of my hips into the next turn, because that dictates. So the thing that actually goes wrong is in the turn, in the middle of the turn is where it goes wrong. It's like kind of different on both sides of my turn. So my left foot I do something, and on my right foot I do something else. I either tip in or I rotate a bit. But that is normally because of the transition. If I'm balancing the transition, I don't do it so much. So we're trying to focus on that transition. Pretty basic stuff, always basic stuff, because ski racing is actually pretty basic. It's just in the timing that you want and in the amount that you want. So we might do a reset in one run. And the reason we're doing that is because I'm going pretty high intensity, because even though it's my first time training in a while, I'm going to go race some Europa Cups, because in Spain, as I've said, you've heard that. So I'm going to go race there, so I want to get lots of different looks and keep the intensity high. So lots of looks, I mean like different courses, different sort of sneaky bits. I want to try and expose myself to some pretty tough sets, so then when I get to Europa Cup, hopefully it's not a big crazy shock and I'm used to the crazy tough sets, because it's going to be tougher than especially the race I just did. So yeah, it's an afternoon session, which means the sun starts to go down on the race piste, so you get a bit of flat light, which adds another challenge. But Dave is trying to make these days pretty tough, pretty hellish, so then come Spain, it should be easier. There's another reason why we're going to Spain, is because I don't have a whole lot of choice with the Europa Cups, because there's quite a few guys on better points than me. So that Spanish one is a little tough for people to get to, because I'm the only guy sort of on my points or lower in the criteria. So if we go to Spain, less people want to go, I might get the slot. So that's why we're going to Spain, and it's cool. España.
Whoa.
It's quite nice setting things like for a different brief almost, you know?
Yeah.
It's quite cool.
Nice, go on, let's do more. Ah, what time is it?
3 o'clock? Yeah, we've got time.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to do 3.
I quite like this one, but yeah.
I know, I quite like it, but I think...
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I think we may as well put you in all sorts of situations.
Yeah, I think it's good to...
Otherwise you'll get comfortable.
Yeah,
use them now so the abuse isn't so hard.
We don't really want you to be comfortable, York.
I did like that turn though, that one turn. So good.
Which
Might be
one?
nice
Such a
one.
nice
Might
turn.
say some nice ones now.
The banana, and then there's like one where you can like properly just fucking come on it all. It's like, meow.
I call this one the Piste.
Yeah, this one looks a lot trickier. That one's gonna come out for sure. That's my nightmare, short distance, like a big swing. I did alright, didn't I?
Yes, you did good.
If I can, I'll do one more after this one as well.
Yeah, no worries.
Bit tricky, so that's 8 runs done, 2 different sets, that's the session finito. Again, like I said, better than I thought it was going to be after the first time skiing on like a training course in a while. I'm actually quite happy, which is quite rare. I never finish a training session happy. I'm always a bit like, oh, I wish I did this, but all things considered, good little training session. Another one tomorrow. Happy for once, it's very rare.
That's good.
So we've got to go pull the course. A rumour that it's like, you know, when you're at high school or school and you swing on your chair and like, I know a kid that broke his head open swinging on his chair. The ski racing equivalent is, I know someone that let go of one of these when they're doing it up, and they let go and it span round and hit them in the eye and they lost an eye. I don't think anyone actually knows anyone that actually did that. It's always a lesson, so everyone goes like this. Don't stand close to the man doing the bungees. And this one's just rubbish, I hate this one. If you know ski racing, this one's just fucking useless. It's always a bit weird training in the afternoon because you don't have as much time. So we had lots of time in the morning and then not as much this afternoon, which is the same thing tomorrow because we get the choice of the lanes a bit more on the good piste. So if we went in the morning, so the other guy's gonna train GS in the morning and then I'm gonna go up and do some slalom in the afternoon again. Yeah, quite a good day, which is actually quite rare. Normally I'm very frustrated about something, and of course there's little bits like there's turns and sections I didn't like today, but mostly a good day. That's it, I'm pretty tired now. Training is a lot more volume than racing, so racing sort of gets you like, you feel like the whole body just like, whereas training your muscles get a bit more sore, but you're not as sort of mentally and like almost like central nervously, because there's a lot of like you get ready to go for a race, whereas in the training you're doing that a little bit but less so, so it's like a different type of tired. Yeah, I did a little weight session but I didn't video that because we're going to do that in its own video sometime soon. Well, maybe not soon, but we will do it in its own video. Let me know what you want to know about how I do fitness in the season, not before because we've done that already, but in the season, and like what my mentality is about it, what I think about it, how I do it, all that. This needs touched up as well. We'll do it tomorrow maybe. Maybe you'll see that in the next video. I'm gonna make it fast for the Europa Cup. The lucky mullet needs to be trimmed. Make it go extra fast. Anyway, I am waffling. Goodbye. See you tomorrow.